Listen,
Yeah, right.
we married. I massage whatever she wants.
He's an idiot.
I had the toe massage she could get.
You're silly. You're so silly.
As long as it got payment on the other side.
He's like, it ain't for free. He said it ain't.
Nothing's ever for free with him.
Nothing in life is free.
Ever. Ever.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe, okay, we can, because we've been on intimacy and all this stuff, but this could be like a fun little opener. I want to know how many wives that always think their husband get a little booty grab or like a little, like rub on the
You
back.
got precaution. People listen to this episode like
With
on
their
the car
children?
with their children.
Hey,
I've heard,
They
yes.
ain't swerving.
So
make sure you at a red light.
Something like that. Something like that. You gotta say parents. This is a episode.
Okay. Sorry. Welcome to Beyond.
Oh, are we shooting? I don't even have
put your
my headphones on.
Put your headphones on. Welcome to Beyond. I Do, everybody. You're here with me.
Are we good, Andy?
Ashlee.
We are good. We're just gonna switch the light off.
Oh.
There we go.
The lighting wasn't all right.
I looked like I had jaundice.
Go ahead.
My poor baby had jaundice when he was born. Both of them did. They was real yellow. And then
Thomas did?
He had it slightly, which was crazy. He had it slightly, which he just pumped it out. But then Matthias, if you ever know, Matthias had jaundice, and we called him a lightsaber. Because he had to be on the UV light blanket, and then he had the blanket around his head, and there's a picture of him smiling, and he's just blue. Because he had to get the UV. He's like,
Yeah, I don't think most people know what that is.
what jaundice is?
You know what that is, Alizé?
Yeah, you're yellow.
Well, yeah, like how to treat it though. It was news to me.
Yeah, no.
When Ashlee had Matthias, I'm like, why the baby look like a banana?
Literally. And his eyes were yellow.
Why he look like a banana?
Yellow. I had no idea, but I didn't know it was common either. It's very common.
Yeah, the nurse where Ashley's weeping. Oh my God.
I failed as a mother.
They're like, you got to put them on a blanket for however long.
They were going to put
Ashley's
goggles
like,
on him. They put goggles, and my mom was there, and I was like, She's like, don't cry. I was like, don't put the goggles on my baby. Dramatic. All right, that's drama.
That's actually
next
still
drama.
to this day.
Okay, guys.
Dramatic still to this day.
If you are listening,
with
get
children.
your kids out. Get your kids out the room. Maybe turn it down a notch if you're trying to
either
listen
give them
loud.
headphones or you put
headphones
headphones on, I guess.
Yes.
I don't even know what Ashley's talking about, but
Well, no, so Adam and I always have this, not always, we have this conversation. There's moments where I love when my husband will touch me or it makes me feel special, will touch me. But then
be quiet.
You'll rub me and I was like, but I don't tell you because I don't need to tell you because then that touch turns into something more. You can't just rub, just give me then it goes down my back and into my booty. I'm like, this was nice.
I'm not.
And then you go, every time you go, booty grab.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes.
Booty shark got to be somewhere.
A booty shark, always.
A booty shark got to come out somewhere.
That's what we call it, a booty shark.
Yeah, you got payment. It always requires payment. I'm not Jesus.
I wonder if women, if me, there may be some, because obviously now being on testosterone, I'm like, okay, I don't mind it. Because then I'll be like, okay, pause right there. Or I'll be like, let's go. But there's other times too, before I'm like, I know where this is going. Mentally.
First of all, I'm a mature man, so it doesn't have to. Don't make fun of my stutter. Everybody has deficiencies. That should be a whole, whether beyond the letter, beyond I do. The amount of people that make fun of people that have deficiencies, disabilities.
You're my husband. It is literally my goal in life.
It's not kind.
It's to humble you. You do it with me, my weave, my funk, that's not, all of it. Yes.
Listen, that you can do things for that. If you're smelling, you can go take a shower. You can your weave.
Yeah,
you can get that thing addressed. Your eyelashes, you can get them on. All that stuff.
They're big. They're wide and big today.
Yeah, my disabilities, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, no.
So
no, because
nice.
we had this. Well, it's not. But I mean, you're my husband, so I get to make fun of you. Because what are you gonna go cry about it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe I have before.
No, you'll eat a Chick-fil-A sandwich and be just fine.
That looks so good. Nancy's stacking it with French fries, and look at, or Alizé stacking it with French fries. There's two Latinas in the room. I get so mixed up right now. One Nicaraguan and one Costa Rican over here.
She's Guatemalan.
I knew that. I'm getting all mixed up right now.
Chris is Nicaraguan.
Here, true story. Yeah. It's true story, honestly, because Sammy came in here right before this podcast and Nancy, and they're talking about something that my mind, because of my ADHD, it will not give up on that topic until I hear that there's a solution for it. My mind won't be able to move on. So this episode might be a little jumbled because I'm 50% in right now. There's another 50% that, yeah, we have a solution. It's just, I don't know. There's a theory of a solution. It's just, I need the green light. Like, this individual's going to take care of it. It's done. No, it's fine. You don't have to find the answer, Nancy. That's not going to help right now. It's there. But that's why I'm mixing people's names up. Half my mind's like, we got to get that figured out. Anyways, Alizé's having a Chick-fil-A sandwich right now, but she's got 3 inches of French fries stacked on top.
That's how you do it.
And then the reason why I said Nancy's name, because then I had a second thought for her, and she's doing very good because she's got a salad with fried chicken strips on it, but she's got a salad. You got to have some type of carbohydrate, I suppose.
It's a great grandma one day.
Yeah.
Great grandma. You just skipped all of it. The motherhood grandma. You went to great.
I think that's a great compliment. Would you agree? I think some people would say that's offensive. Before we shoot this episode, I told Nancy that I think she would be an incredible grandma. Nancy isn't married, hasn't had children yet, so I think that's the background behind it. But
Nancy was totally a mom yesterday. She cooked this bomb chicken on her Instagram, and I was like, "Give me some." I said something like that, and I said, "Give me that." It looked so yummy, and she made me one. And when she was really smart, because she's a mom, she gave me more vegetables than chicken.
Yeah. She knows you gotta eat your veggies.
I need to eat my veggies, and it was bomb.
Yeah,
it was very good. She's gonna be very good grandma.
Oh, she cooks all the time.
She does. She does a great job.
Her number one concern, I don't know if we talked about this before, but in
eating.
life we do, is her number one concern is, have I eaten today yet?
Yeah, yours. Yeah.
Yeah, right, for me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I know you're scared, blah, blah, blah. Have you ate yet? Can I feed you something, mijo?
You look malnourished.
mijo. And I'll be like, Nancy, I could go with skipping a meal. I'll be all right. She's like, no.
Mom mode.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You
how about a smoothie?
If we say that we've fasted till noon, what? I'm like, girl, we just got up at 10. What do you mean?
Right. Yeah. Right.
We haven't been up like you since 5 a.m.
Yeah.
We just got up.
In that gym.
Yes. But I will say this to your deficiency. There's many. But
What?
so we recorded a video yesterday, which you and I started laughing about because you were describing your Bible. So I was inviting people to the conference, and then you were showing your Bible collection.
Yes.
But obviously, being on a podcast, you want to be more lively. You have to show energy and all of these things.
All right.
But you and I were in the car riding back, seeing how this video was going. And what a lot of people would not know is that's just how you talk all the time. Their voice in that video describing his Bibles, that's his voice. That's how he talks. In conversations. Yeah. Him and I talking, there's nothing like, he'll maybe stutter.
There's not like a lot of voice inflection, excitement.
Not a lot of facial, none of it. So that monotoned, like
stuttering, and
that's what you get,
and processing and all that stuff like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's odd. I mean, I think for those that listen to this podcast, they wouldn't think that was a far stretch,
right?
For the most part. But yeah, I think anyone who either is in a work setting or my main occupation is preaching. Like, I go up on stage very confident, very expressive. My voice inflections are very passionate and loud, but that's more of like a gifting, and that's also an art. Like, preaching's an art, and so that's what I use for that. But yeah, I think my everyday life is, I guess when I preach, I don't stutter too much. I don't question my statements too much. Also, it's thought out. What I shared, I've already processed it and thought. Whereas when I communicate normally, my brain moves faster than my words, and so then I have to process stuff differently in that way, unless we get on a rhythm of something like I've already thought about, like our last episode talking about chivalry, man. It's like that's stuff I've talked about with men, and so I can just I can rattle off right away my thoughts on those type of things. But if it's something that's like, hey, fresh thoughts on this, it's like a lot of like processing and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's just your
so
deficiency.
Going back to I think it's a deficiency.
It's cute.
Thank you so much.
I love it. Makes you special.
Going back,
heart.
Sure it does. Yeah.
Okay, going back to what we were talking about.
Do husbands? Yeah, I think it's more common than not. All husbands, we're trying to feel out your mood is what we're trying to do. Your temperament.
Temperament.
Just overall,
mood, yes.
And I mean like not mood of intimacy, just overall. Like what kind of mood is she in? Like what kind of woman do I have right now?
And what do you always say? What do you always say if I like rub your back or something, or like squeeze your arm or something? What do you say? I know what you say. You say every time.
What do I say every time?
What you gonna do about it?
Yeah, what you gonna do about it? Yeah. What you gonna do about it?
What you gonna do about it?
What you trying to do about it?
What you trying to do about it?
What you trying to do about it?
Every time I'm like, bro, just be nice.
And then Ashlee will pull out her phone and be like, oh my gosh.
Literally,
I'm like, nothing. She's trying to do nothing about it. Okay.
I was just trying to be cute, like, and being like, oh, and he's like, what you trying to do about it? We'll be at Disneyland.
Well, listen,
what you trying to do about it? Nothing. Go on Small World. That's what we're trying to do.
You're not a very affectionate person, and so you are with your sons, but that's a separate conversation, and your dog. But you're not a very affectionate person, and your father. You're very affectionate with him. You cuddle with your dad and stuff. Anyways, I guess in love, you're not very affectionate. So the question is, it's like when you do it, it's rare. It's like finding a pot of gold. It's like it's like the luck of the Irish. It's like, oh wow, like am I striking gold, or are you just trying to be affectionate? Because that doesn't happen. So it's it's very uncommon. So.
Do you want the more? Then I'd ask this, because do you want the more sensitive side, or have you, viewers, the more aggressive side?
What are we talking about at this point?
No, like viewers. I'm saying, like in conversation, because like you talk about like intimacy in the sense of like, because some women can come up more sensitive side. Like,
what do you mean though? Are you talking about emotionally?
No, like when you're like sensitive, when I'm like rubbing on your shoulder or anything like that, or anything like.
She's like, already what her punching? I was like, wait a second, what are we talking about? Like,
choke you out?
I feel like the episode turned.
No, like, because like you said, like how I've desired it more being on the testosterone. Like I've desired it more because obviously my hormones are now balanced and everything. Or because then majority of the time I'm just like, okay.
Well, listen, everything don't have to always lead to everything.
Well, but I mean, what you gonna do about it? You're saying like, what do you want me to go play rock, paper, scissors? I don't know.
But I'm talking about that don't happen.
Uno?
That don't happen very frequently. So when I am, it's like, oh, it's like a deprived, dog. It's like you ever seen a dog that gets no love and then you pet it once and it's like, oh, I'm attached to you now. Like that's I got a Doberman. They're known as Velcro dogs. I always tell people, they're like, can I pet him? I'm like, if you do, at my house or something, like if you do, he will not leave you alone. And I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
He will not leave you alone. His body will be attached to you for the next 2 hours if you pet that dog. So make that decision, like with the weight because you will not be able to get him away from you. And then I'll have to force him and put him on something or whatever. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, do it. See what happens. And then they touch Rooster and then boom, he's there. He's for the rest of your life. He's next to you. So I'm like a Doberman. So if you touch me, I'm like, boom, here I am.
For the people that are listening, then, that for a woman that's like, okay, I just want to touch my husband, but someone that would be considered deprived, be careful what you ask for, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm saying if they're physically like, and I'm not talking about just like intimacy, sex. I'm talking about like if they just like I've had many situations where it recently happened where I shared a story and how my dad prayed for a bunch of leaders who don't have great relationships with their father, and then that Sunday there was like 15 to 20 young men below 30 who came up to me and said, "Can I just have a hug?" That's it. And these were like gangsters, like tattoos on their face, like, teardrops by their eyes, and whatever I had said in the message, because I didn't invite people to come and get a hug from me. It was just whatever in the message connected with them. And like you could tell they were really timid to ask for a hug. So you have a lot of people, men, and I'd say women in different ways that maybe are emotionally deprived. But I think everyone like some type of touch. I mean, maybe unless they're on the spectrum or something like that, and it's part of a disability. But most people like some type of physical touch, and so I think for the average guy, like you think about it, like unless he has great relationships, when was the last time someone held him, hugged him, embraced him? 15 years, 20 years. And for a wife, if she's like, I'm just not that type of person, but, the only time he does receive any type of affection is through intimacy, well, then that's what he's gonna pursue that one every time, because he's saying, I don't receive that just us watching a movie or just laying in bed at night. My wife doesn't want to, rub my back or whatever. And she's thinking, well, because it always wants to lead somewhere. Well, at some point, like you have to break that frequency. That the only reason why it keeps leading to something is because it could be because he just desires it that frequently, but also because it's like, well, if it's so infrequent, then if you do engage him, he's going to try to move it to intimacy, because as far as he knows, that is what intimacy is that level, rather than just being held or just being caressed or whatever, because that's not in his framework of what he's received before. Right. And so that's, we talk about it all the time on this podcast, and, we're talking about married couples. And so, if you live in with someone, do it God's way, marry each other. But if you want to see all that God has for you, but in this case, it's, that's where I would see that, like, men just have a higher sex drive. But on top of that, I think most men desire some type of physical affection that doesn't even always have to lead to intimacy. Now, for a season, he may keep trying to go in that direction, but because it's like, oh wow, I've never got this before, so then he'll just keep going into the default. Like, well, this is what it leads. Anytime my wife does touch me, it's her hint of saying, okay, permission, you could come engage with me. Rather than, no, I'm just doing this because I love you, and all that kind of stuff like that. And it's like he has to train his mind to receive that, Right.
Because I know you and I have those conversations all the time, and I would say probably 98% of the time, I believe that you want to cuddle, or I don't believe you want to cuddle.
I'd be fine with cuddling. What are you talking about? Listen, but again, like,
but. So that you're saying with the deprivation that I've given you of the past couple of years is I have to now retrain my brain that you just want to cuddle.
Yeah,
Nancy,
exactly.
be quiet.
Nancy, like Nancy in the back. Yeah, fool.
Don't make me throw this coffee at you, bro.
I know, Nancy with her boy, but she a Velcro dog too. She's touching him at every second, hand on the. You don't know what a Velcro dog is?
Girl,
I just explained it. It's just always needing to touch the human.
They probably they walk
gotta
like
have
this.
Gotta have a body part
like
on the
him.
human. Yeah, right, exactly.
We eat side by side.
No, you do not. I'm done.
For those that didn't hear, she just said they go to restaurants and they sit side by side. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. You guys
oh my gosh, you do not sit side by side.
Listen, she's ready for her 70s. I'm telling you.
That's literally.
I'm telling you.
That's the only acceptable way to sit next to your spouse. If you're
like a
70
grandparent,
and older.
if you're a grandparent, you can sit next to each other. Yeah.
Does Tevin like the fact that you guys sit next to each other?
Oh, listen.
He said, "Is there a booth instead of?"
Wow, he wants a booth where he. Here's the thing. This is the last question I have about that, and because you're gonna make me upset, but. Here is an absolute no. Speaking of, like, again, I think there's a boundary to the amount that I want Ashlee to be affectionate with me. There's over affection for me for sure. I don't like to feel smothered. if Ashlee, while we ate, wanted to hold my hand, oh my gosh, I would listen.
Like, how am I supposed to? I eat a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys aren't holding hands.
No.
Thank God. Okay. That's too much.
they're
One
sitting
hand,
next
one
to
hand
each
like this.
other.
Yeah, that's not okay. But one hand holding and one with a fork.
No, I need.
Oh my goodness! Are you all the type that you go for a walk and you sit on a bench, just hold hands, drink coffee, just stare at the earth?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
Well, I think that might be a next step for you guys. Try
Andy's
it.
like, we
Try
do.
it. You may love it.
Wait, Andy, do you sit next to the booth too?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
And yeah, they're all dating. You're not dating anyone yet, right now, Alize?
No, I don't approve of anyone.
Everybody hit up her Instagram.
No,
anyone
you don't.
interested?
No.
Send your resumes.
No, to me.
Her Instagram bio is Alizize at Alizize.
In the show notes.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, we'll put her.
It's already there.
No, we're not.
It's already in the show notes as a producer. Okay.
All the way at the bottom.
Okay. It's Andy said her info is all the way at the bottom as a producer.
Absolutely not.
Oh, well, that's fair. Listen, it's people who want to sit on the same. It's cute. It's fun. It's not my jam.
It's
not
not
my
cute.
jam.
We literally
It's annoying.
laugh at everyone. When we walk in,
I say it could be cute. Like the idea of it is
you
cute.
and I will walk into a restaurant. Sorry if you've been one of those couples and we didn't know it was you. We walk in a restaurant and we literally point at everyone. Look at those weirdos.
We've done it before.
And no. And we can't sit next to each other because I like sitting inside the booth, like on the booth. I'm right-handed. He's left-handed. So we keep, get off me. Get off me while I eat this sandwich.
Actually, she don't want to be touched at all. Is what it is. Is what it is. Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, give me space. Well, because half the time, even especially if we go to eat with our kids, one kid's then sitting on my, Mom, I want to sit on your lap. Why?
Yeah.
We haven't even finished eating yet.
Your kids are very affectionate.
I don't even
boys
know
are-
where they get that from.
Very.
What are you talking about? Number one, yeah. I'm extremely affectionate. Ashlee's not. And so I'm very affectionate. And so I'm very affectionate with our boys. Once upon a time was affectionate with Ashlee, realized that's not at the top of her love language list. But because they're her sons and Ashlee was like, whatever, created to be a mom, is like a super amazing mom and all that junk. She just loves to be around her boys. And every night is a debate on whether they can cuddle with her and fall asleep. And then here comes Dad. I have to pick them up and take them over to their beds and all that. Every night it's a debate. Say, hey, you guys got to go in your own room, sleep in your own bed. And then I'll go take my contacts out, do whatever. I'll come, and there they are with Ashlee, all one-on-one each side. And I'm like, get out of my bed, you bums. Get out of here. Just let us fall asleep, please. It's only 8 o'clock. You have all night. Blah,
When
blah,
they
blah,
move
blah.
out, I'll
Just
be
let
affectionate
Just
with
let
you.
us fall asleep. And then, Dad, you can carry us and move us out. I'm like, oh, my gosh, dude. I'm like, okay, at least one of you come hang with me? No. I'm like, all right. Rooster, come here.
Maverick does.
And I'm like, yeah, Maverick.
Maverick does.
Ashlee's little Dotson. That's my dog. They recognize I'm the alpha at least.
I
At least
cuddle
two
you.
people in the
I will
household.
say I do cuddle you
do.
when I'm stressed. Because you're like a big old teddy bear.
Well, you need to be stressed more because you need to get more stressed. Yeah, I'm gonna start telling everyone on staff, like, just ruin Ashlee's day. She's gonna want to hold my hand later. I'll be, what's wrong?
I had no idea.
Yeah. Oh my, they did what? Oh, pobrecita.
But I will say that when you and I try to, majority when we're out, but I love to hold your hand, but then we get sweaty.
We run hot.
We run hot. So that's what sucks is like, because either something like the boys or anything, or when we're out, or like, and I'm sure a lot of spouses will agree, you walk sideways and in my way. So like,
Because you're not holding my hand. If you held my hand, it would keep me in a
Oh my gosh.
perfect world. And only some people are going to get the reference. In a perfect world, you would have to have one finger in my belt loop. That's what would have to happen.
Okay.
That's the Mexican way.
It is. If from high school.
Yeah.
Hand in the back pocket.
One finger. No, you got to have one finger in my belt loop.
I
while
remember it
walk.
was hand in the back pocket. Like, where are we going, sir?
Yeah,
Where
no.
we
Well,
going?
I don't know nothing about that. So whatever you were doing, I was a child of God. So Belt loop.
Highly
Hand
doubt
in the
that.
back pocket. What are
Highly
you
doubt that.
talking about?
Highly doubt that.
I love the Lord.
But like, you're a mess.
It's my Lord and Savior. I would never do such a thing.
But like, when you were dating, were you overly affectionate with your girlfriends? I mean, when we dated, we were very affectionate. But like, were you like that with?
Listen, God has done miracles in my life. I was just, listen, that's why as a pastor, you got to have some really intentional conversation. All I remember, legitimately, all I remember is from my teenager, not all I remember, but like when it comes to that stuff, like you're just like your testosterone after puberty is just like through the roof as a young man. And it's like you just think about sex all day. So I can't even tell you what was affection and what was me trying to get lucky. You know, like I couldn't, at that time, I couldn't tell you what that was. Because it was like, you know, you're that age, you see a girl's ankles and you're like, oh, I was seeing ankles in at least 5 minutes. Like, you know, like you just, when you're that's why it's like, man, you got to have conversations with your kids.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, I wrote the book I'm writing that's going to come out next year, because there's a whole section about conversations with your children and how to make them intentional, how to help them to understand that you get them. Like, that's what I don't get. Like, it's like the conversations I'd have or hear from my dad or from my youth group was like if you do anything physical, you're going to hell. God hates that, blah, 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 blah. But yet they're talking as if these youth pastors and even these pastors, they're talking as if they were born 30 years old, 40 years married.
Right.
I'm like, y'all didn't struggle? Oh yeah, I did. But then I met Jesus and now I'm here to tell. I'm like, man, where's the realness of how difficult this is, especially as a young man? Like, this is hard. And biblically, like, I should be married at 15 in the Bible. So it's like, God created me, go through puberty or 12, 13, 14. I mean, you're telling back biblically, I'm not saying that's the way it should be now, but biblically you're telling a teenager, hey, just wait 24 months. You'll be married. Okay, I can abstain for 24. People are getting married at 30, 35, 36. It's like, you're going to tell that Christian, which they should, you should abstain. If you want to have your best chances at a healthy marriage, limit as many sexual partners as possible. If you can step into marriage as a virgin, there is already a massive success rate that you're putting into within your marriage. And so that is wisdom. That's important. But there also needs to be grace that says, like, but when you start at 12 going through puberty and you still have 18 more years, 16 more years until you're going to marry, their body is telling them something completely opposite. Their hormones are telling. And so that's not permission to go do whatever you want. It's grace that says, hey, I understand what it is that you're feeling. And as a dad, I'm not at that season yet with my kids, but I pastor teenagers and parents with teenagers, and you know, they use my language and methodology to have conversations with their teenagers, and they say it goes well, is helping them understand, like, me acknowledging that this is hard doesn't also mean that I'm giving permission, but it does mean that, say, hey, son, I get it. Like, and no one had any type of conversation with me when I was when I was a teenager. I felt like I was broken, you know, that I desired sex and had all these hormones that were raging and stuff like that. And girls go through it very differently. It's their emotions, their estrogen starts spiking and stuff. So they go through their own, you know, we know teenage girls, they go quiet. Mom and daughter start fighting, you know, like crazy and all this stuff. And you have sons that they isolate, they get quiet, they feel more embarrassed because they're in school and they're finding girls like attractive and their body is responding to that. And so they're, you know, all that. And so there's like embarrassment and all that. And so they're all, and there's really not a lot of good conversations helping Christian teenagers, Christian homes have conversations around what their body is saying. And so, you know, long tangent, but because I'm passionate about it, it's in my book that will come out next year, is that, like, that's important to address. And so for you saying, oh, were you affectionate? I think I've always been affectionate, but like specifically as a teenager, there was always kind of I would say an unhealthy motivation behind it, which was discover what that girl wants. If she wants words, gifts, whatever, like meet her needs so that she'll meet your need. Right. That was kind of my framework. I've always been somewhat, sharp with like people, like figuring people out. And so that was done unhealthy. It was like I was taught in the Christian space around 5 love language and blah, blah. And I'm like, well, if that's true, that means, if I could just figure out a girl's love language, I could, mine being one of them, the top being physical affection, all that. It's like, then I can get that if I bring her a present, or if I give her words, or if she is like physical touch. So it was like that would be my motivator as a teenager.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to like on my end, it was like the same thing. Like, don't be intimate with anybody, and so it's showing the affection side. It's like the only people that I was ever affectionate to were my parents. Right. Yeah. And so
the only person you should be married to is Jesus. Like that's the teaching in like old school, like youth group and like.
But even like going through high school, you think someone's like the touching or holding hands and all of those things. You're still processing and young and naive and dumb that you don't even know what the feelings are, and you're not being coached or taught or. Hey, mom, like, never had those open conversations. Like, they're like, why do you have a boyfriend? I was like, I don't, because I like him. They think he's cute. Yeah. And no conversation of like, well, it was just don't have sex with him.
Right.
So what are you feeling? Like, how are your emotions? Do you hold hands? Do you kiss? I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah. So then like.
Well, and it's your point, like, it's knowing your child. You know your child's kind of love languages, so it's like, oh, does he get you gifts? Because then you can also be like, if you have a daughter, you could be like, okay, how can I protect her that like I need to fulfill my child's love language, so that they don't have this emptiness, that they're seeking the world, to show them what affection is, or show them what kindness is, or all that kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Because then even as I went to college and started dating, and I still had no idea what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't ever, and not to say my parents were great parents, but ever feeling like there was a safe outlet to be able to have these tough conversations that I was going through. Like, you tell your girlfriends about what you're doing, but like nothing's justifiable. Nothing's agreed upon. Nothing's like, well, maybe you should do it this way. I had no idea. So then now as like you talk about it, and me going through college and out of college, and you and I dating, it's like now we're talking. Now I have someone to talk to about these things, and I'm like, is this right? Is this wrong? And learning someone in their emotions, like you said, learning someone in their love languages and what they enjoy. And so it's, you get into a marriage, and if you've never talked about your feelings or emotions or what you like and don't like, or feeling comfortable to talk about those things, you and I basically started from square one with me.
Yeah, right. And
literally, like, I didn't know how to express what I like and what I didn't know.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know what Ashlee liked at all, because I didn't know if it was good to like it or not like it, or deemed it wrong, or is this still, you and I still have these conversations to this day where we laugh about it. I'm like, is that okay? You know what I mean? Like, are we good?
Well, and that's how that's why you want to go into the marriage bed. Some people call it lack of experience or naivety, but that's why Scripture in multiple areas makes it clear that the marriage bed is meant to be undefiled, because there should be a level where you go into marriage saying, hey, let's discover this together. Let's walk this together, because through both of our innocence, through both of our naivety, if we can talk well, then this will be a fun journey, and this will be a journey that neither of us will feel insecure about, or feel that one partner isn't doing some. You discover these things together of what you like and you don't like, and I just wish that there were more adult conversations with me as a teenager to those realities, and how every decision I'm making in that season of a teenager is something that there's going to be a woman that I'm going to marry, and all of that is going to be packed into a backpack, and you're going to bring that into your marriage, and vice versa for her. You know, she's going to bring that into the marriage. I mean, there were just little things, because even as imperfect as I was, and I wasn't a virgin, there was a reality of relationships that you were having that were different than me, because I got saved at 17. So everything I had did wild, for the most part, was prior to 17 years old. Mm-hmm. And then basically from 17 to pretty much like 21, I have the same girlfriend, and she's an extremely like strict Christian. And so she was a virgin, kept herself a virgin till the guy she married. And so we would do other things on occasion, but like nothing, like definitely not staying overnight or anything like that. And then there was a year there that I kind of backslid, and, you know, but really still didn't really do much then either, other than the stupid things that I've shared before in the past, like went to a strip club drunk and felt really bad and all these things like that, and repented and all that. But then I start dating you, and you're 25 at the time, and you've lived with guys, you've had many boyfriends, and you know, you are pretty much living pretty much however you want from college till 25 years old. So then it's like, I don't think we ever talked about this podcast, but it was like, as you and I are getting serious and we're engaged, you're like, hey, just so you know, I have an STD test that's clear that I don't have any STDs. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? Like, of course you don't. What do you mean? And I'm like, of course you're clear. Why would you not be? And you were like, well, because like I was, the whole time that I've been with guys, I was on birth control, and so they didn't use condoms, and I'd made sure that they were clean before. And then like after I would sleep with a guy, I would, like, if I caught my boyfriend cheating, I would go take a test, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is insane, you know, like, because to me, everything I did was, most part of it was mm-hmm. 17, did some stuff, but mm-hmm. like have never done anything without a condom, and had never been with a girl before who was on birth control for the sake of like being have never been in that. Those are conversations we had at the beginning right? too. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah. And I'm coming out of like a really strict denomination where like any contraceptions is sin. And so then like I'm processing all of those things. And again, like thank God, and I'm not hyping myself up in this statement. I'm just reflecting transparently right now. Thank God I had enough maturity to recognize that was your past, because if I didn't, now, would I have preferred you not to have that level of a history? Sure. I would never want my daughter to feel like she has to have that conversation. If I had a daughter, have that conversation with a guy that she's about to marry, because I'm a pastor and I'm a Christian man. I want my daughter to, if I had one, save herself. I want my sons to save themselves mm-hmm. Even if they're not that person, they're responsible for themselves, you know? Right. And so, you know, I think on that framework, so for me, it wasn't that I was judging you. It was just like, wow, I never thought I would have to cross this road with a person that I potentially love, that I have to make a decision on whether this is a deal breaker or not, that the person I was with, you know, many individuals, and regularly having to take, you know, tests, you know, to see if she has anything and if they're cheating and all these things like that. And then, okay, this is a person that I'm about to marry, that we would all say, oh, we love Jesus, it's all started over. It's not true. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not true. You can be healed and delivered of things. You can forgive of things, but there are things that you still take, you know, into marriage. And for me, thank God I had enough maturity at the time at 24 years old. We met at 23, and we're having those conversations as we got engaged into 24. Like, because I would have missed out on an incredible marriage, an incredible future, but I would have missed out on, you know, two beautiful boys that we've had together. Mm-hmm. If at the time I said, you know what, that bothers me, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. Mm-hmm. But it never bothered me because I recognized that you were a new creation and you had fully surrendered your life to Christ. But it did make me think, well, what if she wasn't? You know, what would I say there? What if she told me, and then what? Man, I already fell in love with this girl, and then so then it just makes me all the more like, man, I wonder if Ashlee was told, someone had these conversations with her when she was a teenager, the level we're having now, would maybe that not have happened? And hindsight being 20/20 always, you know, we're walking in where God has taken us. But now as I think moving forward as a father and conversations that I want to have, like, are any of these conversations or any of these steps preventable if we just be real with our children and have these honest conversations?
Right.
Because that when you brought that up, it was like a 24 hours. It threw me for a loop that I was just like, I didn't think I'd ever be with a girl. I thought that was like such worldly, even as much as I've like made mistake to me, like, having to take that, and now I know for our listeners, we have a very wide listener base. They're thinking, some are thinking, oh, that's so common, like that's, you know, like, yeah. But then I think there's other, like, we have a lot of Christians that listen who's like, wait, what, like that, and I pastored over the years. You and I both have pastored people on both sides. Yeah. People who have, I mean, you know, we pastored individuals who. Every Friday they'd get paid and they would get a prostitute. You know, we pastored individuals like that, and then they gotten married and dealing with that. Right. All the way to the point of, you know, one person being a virgin and the other one not, and them get married. Like we've pastored all seasons of people. But just speaking transparently of me at 24 years old, that was at the time that had really thrown me off of something I had never processed of if I date a girl and want to marry a girl that had those level of relationships and had that and the reason why we got the conversation is because you were giving advice to someone close to you, and you were like, you need to just go get a test, and I was like, this is what are you talking? So you hang up, you're like, you know, you're telling her you need to go get an STD test today, blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, what are you hang up? I'm like, what are you talking? And you talked about it so normally, like, oh yeah. When you're we start dating a guy, or when he cheats on you, you make him go take a test, or you got to go get tested after every relationship. And I was like, what are we talking about? Like, this is insane. I've never heard of it. Like, this is for movies, you know, like that's what, and
because I remember, and it happened even after I was out of college, and my mom called me one day. Yeah. And she was like, I heard something. Are you clean? That was the first time me and my mom have ever talked about anything like this ever. And she may, listening, may be like, may remember this conversation or may not. And I was like, no, I am. She was like, I've heard something from the grapevine, from your past. Are you clean? And I was like, no, Mom, I am. I promise. I've gotten tested. I'm clean. Yeah. And she's like, if she was, as a mother, she's like, I would feel so bad that I didn't have this conversation with my daughter, or that she had to go through this on her own, or that she was afraid to tell me. Yeah. Because you don't realize until something, obviously, that God has kept me, and I'm grateful, because it could have been the other way. And I've done foolish things and dumb things and trusted and allowed myself to look dumb majority of the time too, just being naive. But God kept me and graced me through this. So when the instances happened, it was on 2 times where I was like, oh no, I no, absolutely not. I'm going to get checked. Yeah. Because you get dumbfounded and you're like, oh, I'm not going to be left out here looking dumb and not know. And so there were 2 occasions that I did, because I was just like, there's no way. Because you're naive, you're dumb, you're young, and then you're like, I'm never doing it again. And then what do? You do it again. Right. And so out of college, out of those relationships, that's when my mom called and told me. And then you and I having that conversation, because I was just like, I've been there. Do it. Be clean. Be cleared. And then you were like, what?
This is insane advice. What is happening? You know, and you're like, oh, it's so normal. Yeah,
you just get it because you want want that peace of mind. Yeah. And that was just the life that I had lived when I was in college, dating certain guys. And so when it came down to it, and us having that conversation, not once, and us even talking about it and you bringing it up, this is the first time I'm hearing about you processing it. You never brought it up to me. You've never brought it up to me since to this day, and that was
11 years ago.
11 years ago.
Yeah.
Because you have always said with any relationship, because we have counseled people, that some women have the past or some men have the past, and you have said if you weren't in their past, you can't judge their past.
Yeah, you have to make a decision. You either accept them and who they are, or you have every right prior to marriage, walk away. Yeah. But don't make them. If I was like, man, I can't believe you, Ashlee, that is disgusting. How could you? Like, seriously, you going in the doctor's office, Bob, like if I did that and I've counseled individuals who were doing that to their partner that they were dating,
disgusted.
and I would tell them, shame on you. Mm-hmm. You need to make a decision right here, right now, or today, whether you are going to accept this person with their past scars and all, or you're going to shut up and you're going to leave the relationship. Now, if you're married, you've made a commitment and you got to figure that out. It's one, unless they deceived you, then you need to go to counseling and stuff like that. But in that case, I've counseled him, but like in Ashlee, I'm like, Ashlee does not have the most perfect, pretty past. Neither do I, but for yours is much more of the secular approach, and mine is in some ways. But for me, I had to make a decision. Like, this is the past. It's not like she said, this is what I'm doing right now, or this is what happened yesterday. We're talking. It's been not a lot of time. It had been some time. So I got to make a decision. Do I accept her and show her the love and grace of God? Or if it bothers me and I'm losing sleep, then listen, Adam, put your big boy pants on. Tell Ashlee it's been great. Not going to make her feel like crap. It's because you're past. That's why I'm not ready to take this relationship further. Mm-hmm. I don't think that my heart's in it in the way that maybe you want me to, and I got to walk away, And then if you kept fighting and go, well, what is it? What is it? What can I? Trust me, you're past. I can't get over it. It's my problem. I'm sorry. I'm not here to make you feel bad, but is something that I don't think I'm able to shake right now. Right. And to me, if I was pastoring someone, it's their maturity level. That's why I said, I thank God that he had given me the spiritual maturity at 24 years old to quickly within a day say no. And I've never thought about it since, and like you said, I've never brought it up, but we're on the podcast. You and I are fine with always being transparent. Yep. So I made that decision, and in my head, never thought about it another day. Yeah. But at the time, it made me like, oh shoot, wow, okay, I wasn't expecting that, I was like, oh, like, I can't even say words on this podcast. It's not gonna offend someone, but there were thoughts going in my head about the type of past that she had.
It's fine.
I'm not gonna use it. So in my head, I'm like, oh shoot, like. That's why also for me with people in her past, it was just,
Thank you for the Lord.
Their famous football player, the one I've said on the pod that was making fun of me, that wasn't her boyfriend or anything, but that's why I became hardline. Because to me, I was like, if I'm going to get over your past, then you can't have any tie, in my head, in my heart, you can't have any ties to the men in your past, or that's going to bother me. Mm-hmm. And so that's why for me, I had told her very transparently, any guy that's in your past, and some she's still connected to that were just friends and stuff. There were no individuals that were trying to, like, she has guy friends from her past and they still connect on occasion with their wives and all that. That wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like you can't talk to any guy. It was any guy that either they were pursuing you or you had a relationship with them. From here, you can't rock with them at all. If you do, even if it's a friendship, I'm out of the relationship. And I have told you. Yeah. And you respected it. You were like, cool, okay, friendships are done. Because for me, as these conversations were being had, it was like, I'm fine, I'm going to forgive you, but the past needs to be in the past. This thing can't ever dangle. I can't have your parents connected to any of this. Mm-hmm. So that was for me, that was my part of moving on and why you made it easier for me to be able to move on, Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really good. That's really, really good. But I think the overall good part is now in the friendship groups that we've been in and the friends that we do have, some of us have young kids, some of us have teenagers. It's really figuring out your children and how to have these healthy conversations with them.
Yeah.
And allowing your kid to trust you. There was a sweet video, this guy, it almost made me cry the other day. It's a young guy talking to probably like, his kids was like Matthias's age. And he's like, I always try to set a tone for my children to feel safe when telling me something, even when it was wrong or even when they were in trouble. And I'll try and find the clip after and tag it on. It was super sweet. The son said a bad word. And so he's telling his dad, Dad, I said a bad word. And he's like, well, what was the bad word, son? And he was like, you want me to say it? And Dad goes, you've already said it once.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Oh, I think I've seen this episode.
And
or this
yes.
clip.
And so then the son whispers it in his ear, and it's a bad word. And he goes, oh. And the dad sits back and he looks at his son, and all he says is, you know, that's a bad word, and you know we don't say those kind of things, but thank you for trusting me and telling me that word.
Yeah.
Immediately, the 7-year-old boy starts crying and hugs his dad. Because one, I looked at it in a way of like a father loving his son in such a good way where the son trusted his father to tell him the bad word, but then the dad not even reprimanding or being upset, but more so being proud of him for just even coming to him and telling him. And that's kind of the level. I hope I said that right.
Yeah. The son recognizes he did what was wrong already.
Right.
You know, if it was a character issue, then it should be disciplined. But it was a mishap. The son, you know, and he didn't have to tell his dad.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
And so I think for us, when I was growing up, I was not that I feared my parents, but it was this, like we've talked about, this wanting to appease and please your parents and wanting to be I wouldn't even say honoring, we said obedient in those instances, or not being looking at as a what's the word? We never wanted to be looked at as a disappointment.
Yeah.
And so I felt like, as I was growing, I always would hide stuff. And there was never a place of like, I could tell them because I know they're going to be upset with me.
Right. And for me, what I've come to the realization is, you know, my parents just never had it modeled. And I know that's said all the time, like, hey, this is your parents' first time being parents, you know, like always remember that.
Right.
And my parents never had those type of, relationships modeled.
Right.
My mom came from an extremely broken home, you know, at one point of her life at 16 lived at a park, slept inside the slide, you know, showered at the water fountain. And so, you know, my mom had like a family like that, very broken. And my dad raised in home with his mom and dad, but my grandpa isn't very open person and very strict and stringent, so no real conversations between my dad and his dad. And so, because what's crazy is like my parents are phenomenal with like over the years, especially in adulthood, in my 20s when I would like make mistakes and like fail, and I'd come talk to my dad. He was so like, oh man, let's cross this bridge together. And I would think like, where was this guy when I was a kid? Because it was so like, they were so strict. And my mom was always like, just wait, don't talk to me, wait for your dad. And my mom's very old school in that way. So she's very traditional, very like no hard conversations with me. Everything has to go through your dad. And so then I like talk to my dad, and it was just like, you know, no, or I'd get punished or whatever. And so like the parents I knew in my 20s wasn't the ones that I knew in my teens. So that was the problem, because if I knew my parents had the capacity of that much grace and listening that my mom and dad have now for the past, you know, 15 years that I've seen, I mean, I would have loved that at 12, 13, 14, 15. I think a lot of stuff would have been prevented if I had the relationship I have at my 20s and 30s that, you know, now than then. And so that's what's interesting to me, because it's like I don't have harsh parents. People that know my parents, extremely kind, extremely grace-filled, full of mercy. My dad's very passionate, but still very like, you know, you could tell him anything and he's going to show you grace and all that stuff. And it's like, but I didn't have that perception of them in my teens. There wasn't those. And he did. He caught me with girlfriends, and it was hard, like phone taken away, no real conversations of why is that. So it's not like I didn't do anything bad. He caught me in a lot of bad stuff, but it was like immediately disciplined, harshly, locked in a room. Like, so it was just like, but then in my 20s, it's like, and my dad went through cancer, and so that changed him a lot. But like, prior to his cancer, he was really emotionally a different person, very harsh, not harsh, but very hard, very strict, disciplinarian. And so, but that's all he had modeled. That's all he had modeled. Yeah. And him going through a personal tragedy really shaped to him what was really important and all that. And it did get me a different version of him that I want to model, particularly, the stuff I did with girls in college and, me going to the club and stuff. I told my dad and crying and, I was 22 and he just hugged me and said, "I love you. King David made mistakes. You're here. You're here talking to me. I love you, son." But it was like, oh wow, 8 years ago when you found out my girlfriend, you locked me in a cave. Now telling you I went to a strip club, you're like hugging me and telling me it's going to be okay. And I was like, wait, okay. That forgiveness and grace gave me the capacity to want to do better. Want to walk better. Because of not the rules, but because of the open, wow, okay, I guess I can tell my dad more things than I thought. Right. I guess I could do that with other people too that, could hold me accountable and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I want to do is model that to our sons in that way. And it's not going to go perfectly every time. I'm already, we have a 7-4-year-old, already see myself all the time being imperfect and, wanting to be a better dad. But it's like I do, you see opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Well, hopefully, as always, most of the time, we don't know what we're going to do for the episode. So I guess we found a groove today. I think probably one of the better episodes we've done. So share this with someone that you think this may be a benefit. If you know anyone raising teenagers, but hey, maybe tell them, hey, get through the first 20 minutes. It gets really good. Tell them to fast forward and get to the parenting part, that you might want to do. Be like, hey, cut through the noise of the jokes, but jump. Maybe it'd be a great conversation. Or something that you can give to someone else who has teenagers. Well, everybody, God bless you. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.